we need is that we are all battling with our soul. Al-mujahidu man jahada nafsahu. The real mujahid is the one who is struggling with his soul, the one who overcomes his soul. And each and every one of you, I don't know to what extent you have been able to overcome your soul. I've been struggling every day, struggling with what? The soul. You are able to bring it down here, it brings you down to another place, you overcome it here, it overcomes you. So every day we keep on, and struggling with the soul itself is a connotation of ibadah. So wa'bud rabbaka hatta ya'tiyakal yaqin, until the last breath we are going to be struggling with the soul. So the science, art, and the capability of being able to struggle and overcome the soul is what we call tazkiyah, and a process to what we call spiritual excellence, which we can call it ihsan, which we can call it makarim al-akhlaq, which we can call it taqwa, which we can several other. When it comes to excellence, then you have several other concepts and expressions that can connote excellence. Excellence is not seen in the Quran to be perfectionism. Whatever you do, you want to just get the best, you want to get the best, but that is not the case. But ensuring that you properly do the thing with an outcome that has a quality, that the seat of that quality is sincerity, ikhlas, and the benefit to creation for the sake of what? The creator. That is when we are saying you are struggling to display, or you are struggling to show what we call excellence. More especially, you are doing it as if you are standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal to do that one. Then we call it what? Excellence. The seat of this discussion, Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Mulk 1 and 2, Allah Azza wa Jal says, Tabarakalladhi.
A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور.
صدق الله العظيم. My dear mothers, my dear elders, there is nobody here who is not having a differential factor between his ideal life and his real life. You might be dreaming that you want to be like this, like that. You want to become a hafiz, you want to become a doctor, you want to become a pharmacist, engineer, rich, what and what. You might have that ideal life, but in reality that is not the case. So that difference, what contributes to the difference is the existence of our soul, and struggling with our soul, so that whatever we live in our mind, we can struggle to let it correspond to whatever is happening in our life. There is nothing that will happen in your life that is not happening in your mind. So correct whatever is happening in your mind, refine it with la ilaha illallah, refine whatever is happening in your heart with la ilaha illallah, so that you have positive environment in your mind and your heart, so that a portion of whatever is in your mind is what is going to translate into your life. So in neuro-linguistic programming, we say the mind is not equal to the map. Whatever is in your mind is a subsection of it that will come to a reality in what? Your life. And if there is a contradiction of whatever is happening in your mind to the reality in life, then A and B says we should call it an accident. And it has nothing to do with the relationship between you and Allah. If you are patient, Allah gives you a reward for what? For that one. So therefore, the art of being able to regulate our mind as a resource that Allah has given to us, regulate our heart as a resource that Allah has given to us, regulate our soul and control our soul as a resource, and for that matter, the collective effect on our behavior is something that Islam places emphasis on, and is something that we have to take seriously in any of our educational institutions. So Allah Azza wa Jalla says that Alladhi, he is that Allah, khalaqal maut, he created our non-existent, wal hayata, and then our existence, to do what? Liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. So that he will see who among you is perfect, who among you is excellent in whatever deed that he is doing. So the quality is what matters to Allah, not the quantity. The quality is what matters to Allah, not the quantity. In our language, we will say that the active ingredient is what matters to it, but not the packaging. The packaging can be glittering, but I ask myself, what is the active ingredient? What is the dosage? What is the so the active ingredient being ikhlas, sincerity for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal in that particular deed. What is the level of it? That is what will actually connote excellence. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا, not لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَكْثَرُ عَمَلًا. No. The best among you in that particular deed. So Rasulullah says that as a Muslim, if you are to do something, do it perfect or stop. Stop. As if he knew that there will be an era, a life, a civilization, that whatever a Muslim does will be attributed to Islam. So excellence and quality in whatever we do is very, very important. Whatever you are going to do as a Muslim, you have to do it perfectly. Perfectly. And we can tell them that this quality you see with us, it is Allah that is directing us to do that. And wallah, you get everything from the Quran. We are not like the motivational speakers who come to just speak and they have no sources except their minds. They have no sources except psychology. They have no sources except sociology and so forth and so. Whatever I have found in psychology that is so useful to me, definitely I find the source in the Quran. I see it. Whatever I've seen in neuro-linguistic programming that is useful, I see the source in the Quran and also what? The Sunnah. So therefore, my dear brothers and my dear mothers, we need excellence. And that excellence indeed, for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, and then absolutely to benefit creation for the sake of the creation is what, for the sake of the creator, is what we can call spiritual excellence. So many things can connote it. Ihsan can connote it. Then also makarim al-akhlaq can connote, or akhlaq in general, or taqwa in general can what connote it. But wherever Allah Azza wa Jal has used excellence in the Quran, you find an element or a connotation of a deed. Then you find also an element or a connotation of the quality of the deed. Then you find an element or a connotation of the for the sake of Allah factor, the intention factor of that particular deed that is beautifying it, but not the quantity. Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Imran, الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء
ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين.
I need this one. Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah is saying, when we say ihsan, excellence for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, excellence, that ihsan, once you strive to do something for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, you become a muhsin, and Allah says He loves them. He loves them. So we have to think about how to get that particular excellence. Look at something. When Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam to teach him or to teach his companions what Islam is, there were several other things. Ya Muhammad, akhbirni anil Islam. Tell me about Islam. What is Islam? He went forward that fa akhbirni anil Iman. What is Iman? Then he went forward to say fa akhbirni anil Ihsan. Tell me, what is ihsan? That excellence. What is this? Internal control, stabilization of our internal realm that gives a quality of behavior consistently displayed that we can call it an akhlaq to the benefit of what? Humanity and for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. The summary of it is what Allah says in Surah Al-Ibrahim, Quran chapter 14 verse 24 up to 26. Alam tara kayfa daraba Allahu matala.
ألم تر كيف ضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء.
What is the character?
تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس لعلهم يتذكرون.
And when it is bad,
ومثل كلمة خبيثة كشجرة خبيثة اجتثت من فوق الأرض ما لها من قرار.
there is no stability at all. Stability in our life can't exist if the stability in the mind and in the heart is not there. We Muslims seek to stabilize whatever is in our mind and our heart and our soul with La ilaha illallah. And for that matter, you find consistency in our behavior. You find consistency in our character to the benefit of ourselves, our family, community, and humanity at large. So Allah Azza wa